Welcome to this small video where I explain how I created a system to produce various footstep sounds for different surface types in my game, Crystal Hunt. Firstly, we must have a way for the game to recognize the different surfaces. Here you can see I have defined 7 different surface types inside the project physics settings, from grass to stone. These are all the relevant ones to the map I have created, but this list could be easily extended if new surfaces were introduced to the game. A physical material was created for each surface type. These physical materials are assigned to the relevant surface type inside their material properties. Here you can see the grass physical material and its properties set to the grass surface type. These physical materials can then be attached to the different mesh actors around the map that make up the terrain. This is done by selecting it in their details panel. Here you can see the grass that I used in the landscape paintbrush, and how it has been given the grass physical material. This process is then repeated on every surface. Now the game can recognize all the different surface types. The other bit of setting up needed is to make a sound cue for each surface that can play back a variety of footsteps specific to each surface. Here you can see I have a sound cue for each of mine. Let's look at what's inside the grass sound cue. Here you can see there's 17 grass footstep sounds that can be randomly selected through this random node when the sound cue is played. From here, these then go through a modulator which changes the pitch and volume, widening the variety of footsteps heard without needing extra sounds loaded in. Let's hear how that sounds by itself. Now that the different surfaces are defined and we have sound cues for each surface, the system that plays back the footsteps can be explained. First, we need to decide when we want a footstep sound to be played, by placing notifiers inside the player animations every time the player takes a step. In this case there are no feet, so it's based on what felt natural to the motion of the arms. There is also 2 notifiers in quick concession on the jump animation to emphasize the impact of the 2 feet landing. These notifiers are then used to trigger a blueprint inside the first person animation event graph. This is the system that plays the correct sound every time the notify happens. It starts by trying to recognize what surface the player is currently on by starting a line trace. This starts from the character by inputting the location from a getPlayerCharactersActor location. This is then extended down to the floor by ending the line trace 150 lower on the Z-axis. This line trace can now hit the floor and detect what surface type the player is on. Then, using the switch on ePhysical surface, we can use the information from the hit results to decide the surface type and therefore what sound to play at the location. Each surface type option is linked to a different play sound at location, each containing the relevant sound cue for that surface. As the player moves, the notifiers get triggered and the system will figure out what surface the player is currently on and play back the correct sound. Let's hear how that sounds as the player walks across multiple surfaces. Thank you for watching this video on my Footstep system.